So yeah, we can go into our book reading endeavors for the week. What do you got?
Yeah. Well, I was telling you that I read Ender's Game, which is a science fiction novel that I know you've read before too. It's like a considered a famous classic sci-fi novel. I think it came out in 1985, and
Mhm.
a lot of people have probably seen the movie, which I want to rewatch again pretty soon.
Yeah, I'd
But
recommend rewatching it after the. That's what I did.
yeah,
I watched it after I read it because I watched the movie first, and then I read the book, and then I watched the movie again afterwards.
yeah, I saw. I think it was actually helpful that I had seen the movie beforehand because when I finished the book, I didn't realize to the same extent that it makes it super clear in the movie. The literally my favorite part of the book, which is the ending where they reveal that his these these warfare simulations that they were doing were actually them conducting the real battles in the war, and
Hmm.
he basically got tricked into committing the mass genocide of an entire species. That was
Hmm.
fucking my favorite part of the movie, and I don't remember. I want to another reason I want to go back and watch the movie is I don't remember the extent to which they have this sort of side plot in the movie that they have in the book, which is with both of
With his
Ender's,
siblings.
yeah, his sister Valentine being the really empathic one, ending up kind of conspiring with their other brother Peter, who is the oldest, and he's like clearly a fucked up psychopath in some ways, and they take on these personas of online people. I think it's like one is Locke and one is I forget what her
Starts with a
pseudonym.
D, right?
What was it?
It starts with a D, but I don't remember what.
Forget what it is, but it's one of those ancient Greek philosophers, and they basically kind of like start a movement and they manipulate their way into his brother controlling the earth at the end. So then Ender colonizes the planet, the alien planet of the buggers that they wiped out. I don't remember the extent to which that whole side plot is in the movie at
No,
all.
it's not. It's not in
It
the
is at
movie.
all.
No. Like
Hmm?
the only time they introduce the brother and the sister are right in the beginning of the movie before Ender gets carted off to the academy, and then they don't really show up after that.
Okay. Yeah, that's like I was listening to the Legendarium episode about it and I kind of agree with what they said where it's understandable if they kind of cut out that part because it's not essential to the main plot, but it is a really interesting additional thing that you get in the book because it's actually one of
I'll
my
say
favorite aspects
this.
of the book too.
I'll say this. That is essential to the rest of the series.
Oh, okay.
So it almost seems that they were making this movie going into it being that they're only going to make this movie because the whole thing between the brother and sister, they become essential to the plot. So
Okay.
not yeah, so they're not essential to the plot of the first book if it's a self-contained story, but if they were pursuing sequels and things of that nature, yeah. But if they were going to do this story justice, a movie just wouldn't be the way to do it, or even a movie series wouldn't be really the way to do it
Yeah.
because it's just if they did make the second book, they would have to recast everybody because Ender is not a child in the second book.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
I'm gonna read the sequels because I've heard a little bit about them and I want to get more into like it sounds like it gets more into this connection that Ender has with the don't give me any spoilers, but this connection that Ender seems to be developing with something like this souls or or the telepathic connection of the buggers
yeah,
and
it gets pretty
whatever stuff
crazy.
to do with side characters too.
Yeah, I gotta respect. by the last book, it gets pretty intense.
Cool.
Like the sci-fi elements get very intense.
Awesome.
And this is very much a sci-fi series. It's not a space opera. Um, Orson Scott Card definitely um, takes the sci-fi elements and writes a story around those elements. So I will get you those books when I get them in. I think the ones that were immediately available were I'm just waiting to download them to my computer, and I'll get you the second book, which is Speaker for the Dead.
Right.
I
Oh,
think
cool. Thanks,
it's
man.
I think the first two books are the strongest. I really liked the second book also. I can't say that I didn't like the rest of the books. It's just that I think the weakest of the series would probably be Xenocide, which is book three.
Okay.
It's still pretty good. It's just not as strong as the other books. But I think you'll like all of them. And then there's prequels as well. So I've read some of the prequels. They're actually pretty good.
Cool.
They're really actually the prequels are pretty damn good. So when you get there, I can see about getting you those too. There's a couple other Ender books that I haven't read yet, but since I got this new library card, I'll be able to get access to those, which is great. So I'll go
Awesome.
ahead and probably, hopefully, finish out all the series because he's written a lot of books in this universe. I think it's over a dozen, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
wow. I didn't know that. Oh, cool.
Yeah, because the
Okay.
main Ender series, I think it's 4 books. I think it's 4 books. So it's Ender's Game, Speaker of the Dead, Xenocide, and Children of the Mind. Those are the 4 main books, and then he has some offshoot prequels and sequels and alternate POV books.
Okay. Oh, cool.